Now we can start.
Be seated.
Oh, wow.
That'd be good.
Sorry. I just tried
I know there's some that there's not. I don't know where the tree went, but it's gone.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. And
So I keep track of mine.
I would occasionally, actually. I do get this. I'm gonna give the floor to Todd Benson and Jake Evans are here to share whatever they're here to share. We're want to come there.
I am part of the Friends of Boxwood. Jake is the Boxwood Commissioner. Mostly together as two organizations to try to put forward the cemetery. And there's continued interest in the cemetery just over the last a little bit of time here. Friends of Boxwood obviously continues to draw crowds for our events and numbers have acquired organizing cleanups. Bless you. The lacrosse team was just in there today. If you drive through, there's tons and tons of sticks every year. They come in and the team spends an hour or two just walking around cleaning up the cemetery. So they had reached out to us to do that. So that's always a good sign. MHS Impact Day will be going out there in May to do work as well. And very excited to let you know that the Preservation Trades Network will be coming out Friday. I'm going to be giving them a walkthrough of the cemetery. They reached out to me. They're going to be having a conference here in September 16th through the 19th, and they want to possibly do some work at Boxwood Cemetery. They've got, masons and things like that. We've got lots of walls that need to be done. They are talking about maybe fixing a headstone or whatever. And they were going to reach out to Atlas Preservation to try to get the materials donated for that. So it wouldn't be any cost to us or the village to do that. So we're very excited. And again, these are all people that are reaching out to us saying, hey, we want to do something. So that's a very good sign for the cemetery. But it's important that we keep the momentum going by having the village support the creation of a long-term plan for Boxwood. As we know, all of you have received the condition report from the TED grant that we got from Clinton Brown, and there's lots of issues to address. There's about 40 different things, some of them more pressing than others that need to be addressed. So it's important to have a long-range plan. I mean, obviously, most of you guys know that, but because when the DPW wants to be able to do things in there, or like the Preservation Trades Network reaches out and says, hey, we'd like to do something, it's better if we have a plan in place and say, okay, well, these are some things that you could possibly tackle in time to be able to do that. And the next thing I want to talk about is the new RFP for maintenance of the cemetery, which comes up next year. There were several recommendations in the Clinton Brown report as to what should be done to help maintain that. And I've talked to Shorty just the other day, and he and Jason have talked about implementing some of these things this year to kind of see how they go. So then that way, when you do put the RFP together in the fall, you'll be able to figure out what is and isn't working and make adjustments as necessary. So they're planning to let the grass grow longer, no spraying around the headstones anymore, and being more gentle and trying to weed whack around the headstones because that's where it's kind of digging in. Is when the grass is gone, it starts to dig into it. It's undermining the foundations. To that end, when Impact Day does happen, we did some of this last year. We'll do it again this year. We'll have kids carrying buckets of dirt to backfill around some of those headstones to kind of get them back into shape there. So the report itself identifies immediate, short-term, and long-term needs. And I'm here to say that we need to think of how can we do these things, not if we can do these things, because they have to be addressed. I mean, some of these things are eventually going to be a danger. It's, the stitch in time saves nine concept that, if we do something now, it's going to cost us a lot less than if we wait 10 years for something to completely fall apart and then have to pick up all the pieces. And as the village Medina and the owner of the cemetery, you have a responsibility to do those things. 26 grave sites were sold in 2025, and I feel like I can attribute some of that to the fact that we're very active in the cemetery. The Friends of Boxwood is holding events. The village is doing a great job of upkeeping the cemetery. And let's face it, people want to spend eternity somewhere where they think it's going to be taken care of. So if we want to continue to sell plots, we're going to need to make sure that we're keeping the cemetery in good shape so that people will want to be buried there. Because, I mean, you drive by some of these old cemeteries, there's no way you'd want to be buried there because no one seems to be taking care of them. So in the report, pages 5 and 6 does identify some potential funding sources, including some grant possibilities. But having written many grants at this point, when you have a plan in place, it's always easier to ask for the money. You can't just ask for the money and say, hey, can you give us $10,000? If we have a solid plan in place of this is what we need to do, this is how we need to address it, this is why we need to address it, it's going to make our applications a lot better. And like I said at the previous meeting, I'm more than happy to do any of the grant writing that we need done. I know you have a grant writer as well. I'm not sure if it's going to continue into this new budget or not, but I know an existing one is there. I know I've talked to Jada about the property maintenance fund, which is a possibility for some of the money. Obviously, that has to come from you guys, and maybe Jada can address that a little bit as well. That's separate from the perpetual care fund. For those of you that are newish to the board, perpetual care fund is something that has almost $90,000 in it, but you can never touch any of it apparently. Whereas the property maintenance fund does allow for you to use that money. And that's why the money several years ago was switched into the property maintenance versus the perpetual care fund. And I think that might have even been when Debbie was clerk treasurer that happened. And you can actually touch the perpetual care fund by borrowing from it. It takes a petition basically from the village attorney to the courts to say, we need the money to address this issue. You're borrowing from yourself. You can put it in whatever terms you want to. We'll pay back $1 a year for the next 1,000 years. We'll pay back $1 million next year. You can do whatever terms you want to. You just need to get the court to approve that. And several years ago, we had agreed as a board, when I was on the board, we were going to have Matt Brooks write up something for it. Then COVID happened, and apparently none of that ever did happen. So it is one possible avenue. Obviously, it's up to you guys, if you want to go down that path or whatever. But that's another possible funding opportunity. So I do want to draw your attention to one area that both the commission and the Friends of Boxwood are asking to possibly address this year. At the back of the packet there, if you have it in front of you or on the last page of it, as part of his report, Clinton Brown asked a company called Abraxas to give a quote on the Newell wall. If you've been in the cemetery, there's several of our sandstone walls that are collapsing. The Newell one is important not just because of who is buried there, but it has a big, huge obelisk, and this is one of those stitch in time saves 9. If that wall completely collapses and that obelisk comes down, it's going to be a heck of a lot of money to be able to put that back up and repair the wall and all that. So they did put together a quote for that, and this was, back in the fall, so obviously we know price of everything has gone up at this point, so we'd have to get a newer quote. And given the fact that it's over the $10,000, I'm sure the village will have to get multiple quotes, or at least attempt to get multiple quotes for it. But it was $35,000 to do that, which sounds like a lot of money, and obviously it is a lot of money, especially as you're trying to squeeze pennies out of the budget. But the property maintenance fund already does have money in it. The Friends of Boxwood would possibly consider adding to it as well. It just kind of depends on where we're going with all of it. But that is a possible source of some funding as well. We've done very good with our fundraising. We're nearing the end of the Potter's Field project, and we're looking for our next big project. So that would be certainly something we would consider helping out with, not funding the cost, but helping out with the cost on that. So again, that's the last couple of pages of the report, just to give us an idea. Now, my thinking is that it's identified as one of the short-term needs, so not an immediate need, but a short-term need. But again, if that one goes down, it's going to be pretty tough to put it all back together. So if we were to engage, if you guys were to engage a contractor to do the work, the DPW could be there to oversee what was happening, so that in the future the DPW could actually carry out that work. Because it's not, it needs some engineering work, but it's mostly just like putting in drain tile, trying to figure out how to backfill the wall properly. Because the walls that are in there are all just Medina sandstone, which looks great, but it moves over time. So we need a more permanent wall, with the sandstone as kind of being the fascia of the walls. So that's why we're proposing to conquer the Newell project first, is because of the fact that it will set us up for the future to be able to look at all the different projects and say, okay, the DPW can accomplish this one. That's one of the biggest walls that we have to deal with. There's a couple others that will probably have to be dealt with professionally, but what I am proposing is that you task the Boxwood Cemetery Commission with coming up with a 1, 5, and 10-year plan based off of this Clinton Brown report to submit to you. I know you guys have a lot of other things on your plate, and that's kind of their sweet spot, is to deal obviously with cemetery stuff. So that's what I would propose, is you task them with that responsibility. But I also propose that you find me the money in the property maintenance fund, in the budget, through grants or whatever, to address that Newell site as soon as possible, so that we don't have a bigger problem on our hands. So again, we can have kind of a demonstration site of what the best practices are, so that we can proceed from there. And if we determine that the village can't do it, it's just beyond their abilities, we at least know what to look for with the next bid and the next contractor, and what is supposed to be happening with that. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Jake.
I would say, as you all know, with the Clinton Brown report, I'm not sure, being new.
I gotta be honest, I have a copy.
Okay. It certainly highlights a lot of issues that we're dealing with, and it's a tall order, what needs to be fixed on that hill, and where to get the funds to actually even do it is where we're at. Last year, the commission, our main goal was to set this erosion mitigation plan for the hill, talk about it, plan it, and see how we're going to fund it. And we've talked about it. We've now planned it with the report. We've identified the issues, and now we have to figure out how to fund it. And that's, I guess, why we're here. I would like to highlight a lot of the problems that were identified in this report. They're not just aesthetic; they're huge safety concerns. It's not just a cemetery for our, to bury our loved ones in the village. It's a recreational site that people walk and hike every single day. And we have aging trees that are looming that need to be tended to. Tons of masonry work that needs to be done to keep everyone safe. So as much money as you can throw at it. And also we had, Debbie had been at our last meeting discussing Shorty's contract, but that's another year to discuss. So we won't touch on that, I suppose.
And I was working today on a map. Jeff Pasnick, who's on the commission, said it wouldn't be nice if we had a map that had all these things marked out on them and coded by color. So I fell a little bit short of my goals today. I have 10 more spots to mark, but as soon as I get those, I will email them to all of you so that you have a map that you can kind of see where things are. I mean, it's all located up on the hill, but you can get a better idea of where the locations of all those things are. So I'd be happy to field any questions, thoughts, ideas at this point.
And Todd, this is a little off, like, I understand as much money as you can get, I understand, but a little bit unrelated. About 10 years ago, a student in Medina had made some sort of a map plotting out, I think, the graves that are there. Is that anything you have any awareness of?
Well, I guess it depends on what do you mean by plotting out, but
Like, I think that if I remember correctly, and I just found out about this maybe a year ago, but if I remember correctly, she had gone through and like created this map situation where like all of the whole cemetery was laid out in this map she made. Is that something you guys have?
no, and I have no knowledge of it. I mean, I've had students in there who have put together tours, but that's just for a few sites.
No, I think this was like a very ambitious 6th grade.
I put together the entire database so you can search and see where everybody is located in there by looking at the database. Shirley and Dick Nellis, many years ago, literally walked the cemetery and put together a thing that's on the GenWeb website.
Yeah.
But I don't know of anyone who's actually mapped every single grave, like putting on an actual map somewhere. So I would definitely be interested in.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get my hands on it. I actually was gonna see if you have it.
You don't
but
remember who it was?
I do. Yeah, Sue V. Biesinger.
Who was it?
Sue V. Biesinger. She graduated a few years ago.
Yeah, I know Subi. I don't know that she has done the whole cemetery. She, I think, was probably a part of when we were doing some work over there, but I can't remember specifically. But
Okay, yeah, I was
check
curious
with
about
her and see. I'd be happy to add that to our collection.
Sure.
Information, obviously.
Would you pick Newell's as just a starting point, and is that the worst spot, or just a spot to start?
I mean,
to make the biggest impact and training, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the ones that's going to be trickier because you've got the big, huge obelisk on it. The wall is pretty deteriorated; it's literally falling down in some spots of it. You've got a large number of people buried in that plot, so you're going to have to deal with how to not disturb them at the same time you're fixing the wall. So I mean, some of it is prominence. It's at the top of the hill; everyone can see it. I mean, I was just walking there today, and I had my report, my clipboard, and someone was like, "Oh, you look like you're official." And I was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, she was pointing out spots that she has seen, as well." So it's not one of the ones that's marked as immediate, but a lot of the ones that are marked as immediate are things like stairways that people don't really use, but they look like they're treacherous. I've walked up and down them many times. They're not as treacherous. They look more treacherous than they actually are. So yeah, it was just kind of a combination of things. Plus, it was the one that they gave us a quote from, so we have an idea, a starting point as to what needs to be done. And
that was kind of important too. That it was identified and there was a price put on it, so we could use it as a guideline of, okay, something like this that needs to be fixed is going to cost this much money, but it is at the top of the hill. It's prominent. It is difficult. I believe we discussed it with the DPW and like Shorty, that it's one that it's out of their jurisdiction of what they're capable of doing.
The problem is when you get up on the hill, it's hard to get big equipment up there, so you have to have specialized equipment. I mean, Shorty has been able to move some pretty heavy things with his little mini backhoe that he has, but you can't get a full-size backhoe up there without tearing things completely apart. So honestly, I don't know how they're going to actually do the work. I mean, I don't know if they're using tripods or what they're using, to be able to move this, because the stones, I mean, some of those stones that are in the Newell Wall are probably, 1,000 pounds. So pretty significant.
I got something. I know it's a touchy situation, but I don't want to touch on it.
Yeah,
You smile.
I'm waiting.
I did talk to Jake a little bit. I don't know if talked to Jake, I talked to him a little bit about this $89,000 we can't touch. And, apparently that was put into, was in a savings account at one time. Did we do anything with that to draw interest on that?
It's in CDs right now, so
Okay. Do we know what the interest is? Can you touch the interest?
right, so the interest is increased we're up to 13,576.
Okay,
So we've been gaining, pretty good return on that, 89,000.
That's the only thing you can touch with that is
are we
the
certain of that? If that's the only thing, that we can't touch the principal, are we certain of that? If anybody done any research on that recently, if that changed at all, or?
I talked to NICOM, and I've also talked to the comptroller's office, and they won't make a determination on whether or not we can spend it, and I'm not comfortable with that.
Okay.
Part-
When's the last time that you talked to somebody about that? Has it been a while or?
2 years ago, maybe it was, did they call?
That sounds about right, about
2 years ago?
Part of the problem is that the village of Medina Cemetery, there aren't many that are municipally owned. And all the regulations that we can find talk about not-for-profit ones that don't technically apply. But when Jada or Jake has talked to people at the state level, they'll say, yeah, you can use it. I can't, right? So like, when I was on the board, it was an annual frustration here. That's supposed to be, is called perpetual care.
Right.
Supposed to take care of the cemetery, and no one will give us something in writing. And, you know, Jada and now Debbie are on the hook if something is wrong. I mean, they're the ones that, you know, the authorities are gonna come after. So as much as I want them to say yes, I respect why they don't say yes.
Okay, so as far as it hasn't changed about touching.
So I did point blank ask them, well, could you provide something in writing as to what we could do with it? They won't make that determination.
Or that 89,000.
It could go, I mean, it's not gonna fix everything. Yeah, and
I think that's what it was started before.
Yeah.
Was maintenance.
yeah,
How was that set up originally? I mean, who set that up?
it was in the early 1900s. Yeah, early 1900s.
Yeah, so when somebody buys a grave, there's a certain portion of it that goes towards this perpetual care. And that's why we ended up switching to a property maintenance fund. So now when you buy a grave,
Oh, that money goes in there.
pay $100 or whatever it is now, it goes to property maintenance fund,
Okay,
because that you can touch.
So that figure 89,000 has been that number
That's
for a
been
while.
that number
same number.
forever.
Okay,
It's been that number forever, yes.
Yeah.
but you're growing interest off of that. So you can't touch the interest.
Yes, we
can.
can.
Oh,
Right.
I think
And we
they
can
did
buy
set it up on purpose so that you could legally pull from that to that. Which you principal money at this point.
Yeah, you need a thing at, and when Kathy Blackburn was the head of the commission, she had put together a proposal of doing that, like no more than 10% each year drawing down, because you don't want to just spend 90,000 tomorrow. But if you could spend a small portion of that each time, you know, over time. And again, my understanding is you can dictate your own terms of payback. So I'm not saying that you do $1 a year for 1,000 years. You literally could if you wanted to do it that way. So yeah, it is touchable, but there's a process that has to go through, and it's not permanently touchable. It has to be replenished. So, you know, that would be something that you'd have to look at too, is, you know, budgeting for to yourself in the future.
What is our rate of return on interest? When's the last time you touched the interest?
Well, I've been renewing it to the CD, so it just renewed again. And it's like 3.25. It was at like 3.6 and then 3.9. The rates are coming down. But the last 2 years we've seen decent returns.
but my understanding, Jada, don't get me wrong, she's limited as to what she can do. She can't invest aggressively with it, so you can't throw it in the stock market. It has to
I
be
just-
very
I just didn't know the last
safe
time
investments.
we
That's why the rate of return's not gonna ever be great on it.
yeah, I just didn't know the last time that we, scalped the interest off it, I mean,
Reviews any of the interest off it?
Yeah.
Yes. The interest? Oh, maybe.
Is that done annually? The interest that's made annually and then it's put into the property maintenance fund?
No, I keep them separate,
Okay.
so.
So the 89,000 number that doesn't change, that interest, that's right, there's a separate interest account.
Yep.
Yes. We can access that.
Yeah. So if we were to, move forward with the Newell, I mean, this quote is probably no longer any good, and we would have to get, we would have to get.
Right, you'd have to put out an RFP for it because of the cost of it. But honestly, I don't know if there's many, I don't know if you get 3 valid bids for it anyways. But I mean, you'd have to attempt to do it legally, so. But yeah, I mean, I would say easily 10% more of what you see here. I mean, you're probably looking at close to 40,000, but next year, 50,000. It's like some point you have to address these because otherwise it's just going to get more expensive, obviously.
Are any of the we're looking at eligible for this type of work or?
Potentially. I mean, no major grants, like not going to take half of the cost of it or whatever, but it is possible to get some grants, but again, we need an actual bid in place so that, I mean, because whenever I put together a grant, I have to have some sort of a bid saying, this is what it's cost, this is who's doing it, this is the scope of the work and everything. So before we can actually apply for one of those, we need to have that in place. So it might be one of those where when the grant comes, you can't guarantee that that's going to happen, but that might be a possibility. But I mean, it'd be nice to have this addressed this year, especially because costs will be going up and the damage is going to get further. At the very least, by next year, it's probably going to need to be addressed before we get into a dire situation with that part of it. And there's other things. I mean, I went through today and looked at all the different ones, and there's some that I know the DPW could do. Even today, Shorty has done several different projects, resetting some of the stairs that are there. I've worked with him a little bit on that, so I know some of those things we can just accomplish on our own. And then Jake had reached out to the Job Corps. If you want to
Yeah, so there's a couple organizations that are to try to, it's free labor, I guess. There's an organization, did you mention earlier?
the Preservation Trades Network.
Preservation Trades Network that's coming Friday
Yeah.
to Ballpark. It's quite a unique thing that they're coming to Medina to all meet across from the area, right?
Yeah. And
Trade
really across the
specialists.
country. I looked on their website. Several of their people are
Yeah.
from different parts of
And
the country.
they're meeting here in Medina to discuss Foxwood, right? And multiple things.
Right, yeah, I mean, they're setting up for their conference, but that's part of it.
So that could be a huge advantage to us to get some work done by some highly trained craftsmen, potentially for free. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I mean,
is.
that's, the work would be for free, it's whether the materials, and that's where they said they would try to get Atlas Restoration to foot the bill for the materials of it.
And the other source would be, at the last commission meeting, we discussed reaching out to the Job Corps and seeing, they do have a masonry program. So I did reach out to JT Thomas, and he was going to make some connections to see if they wouldn't bring a group of students to use boxwood as an example of how to do some masonry. So that's
And
another avenue.
they might not be able to address the Medina sandstone parts of it, but when we went through, when the commission, the village board, and the Friends of Oxford walked through last summer, Jason identified a couple of places where we probably need to build a small new retaining wall, and that's probably where would be their sweet spot, is to build a small new retaining wall. Then we'd have to probably go to RAF to get some stone to reface it. But that would be something that would be, a potential source of some, free labor, like you said, and addressing, there's two in particular, one on the south side, one on the north side, up near the top of the hill, that the ground is being undermined under both of those, and if they topple, it's gonna be some domino effect as they roll down the hill, so that's a possibility as well. So we are, Jake and I are constantly looking for opportunities, ways that we can save the village money but still get the work done with, a quality to it as well, so.
And you've already talked to Jason, about some of these that they could do, or would you okay to
I
do that?
haven't yet,
Not yet, yeah, he was
Yeah.
at the last commission meeting. and,
yeah.
Yeah, because maybe I will reach out to him, and he has this, right?
Yes, he has a copy of the report. He knows that the Preservation Trade Network is coming on Friday because they CC'd him on it, but he's out of town or not working the rest of the week, I understand. So yeah, we'll keep him in the loop on all of that, what they come up with, as well. Yeah, so, what we plan for early June for our walkthrough this year?
I was just gonna look at my calendar, just to make sure you all know that our combination meeting between the Cemetery Commission, Friends of Oxwood, and anyone on this board that wants to be there, we all meet at the cemetery to walk through and look at a lot of these things.
That's June 4th at 5 p.m. And it is very informative. And it's good to get everybody's eyes on it. But that's part of the reason we ended up getting this report done, because 2 years ago when we were out there, we'd look at a retaining wall and be like, well, we could maybe do this. Well, maybe we could do that. And none of us had any expertise in it. We're just like, I fixed something in my house. Maybe this will work. So that's really what instigated us getting this report done, was to actually have professional eyes on it to really guide us with what can and can't be done.
Would you say roughly 2 hours for that?
It does tend to be that, especially if it's a nice day, we kind of get chatty.
June 4th?
Yes.
I believe it's a Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday at 5 o'clock. And we usually meet around the chapel area and then just walk the hill, and Jason's usually there, Shorty's typically there, and just as many eyes as we can get on it. So we're really mostly about keeping us all on the same page and understanding the issues and seeing them. The report is nice, it has pictures, but it's kind of hard to tell from some of the pictures just how bad some of this is, or also to see some of the good. There's lots of good there. Every time I'm in there, somebody's telling me how beautiful it looks and all that. So, that we are doing a good job on a lot of it. It's just some things that need to be addressed.
And we did talk too at the last Boxwood meeting about Shorty's contract, because that will be, he'll be done November. His contract will be done November, and then the new one will start the following April. And as Todd mentioned, there will be some things maybe that are gonna have to be done a little differently as far as the hill and weed eating and all that. So there might have to be some changes in the contract. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Gina's gonna get a copy if any you want a copy of it. And I thought maybe the commission could maybe look it over and just see any changes that we put it out for.
Yeah, and
So
after the meetings, we were wondering if Shorty and Jason had got together, because Shorty he does, and I did confirm with him that he did write down the list. He gave it to Jason. He even put figures with it as well to get an idea where it is. So when you go to write the RFP, you have a true understanding of okay, well, we're gonna say no chemical, this is what it's gonna cost, we're gonna allow chemical, this is what it's gonna cost, so that you can write the RFP that you want it, it's gonna be fiscally responsible, but also responsible to the upkeep of the cemetery.
Right, 'cause I think they're, Shorty's been doing the cemetery for a lot of years and, does probably way more than what's in the contract, so. You know, you want to make sure that everything that he's doing, that he's probably not getting paid for, maybe is in there.
So his contract was I believe it was 2020, the last contract. It was a 3-year contract. I think 42.5 was the number for the season. And it was a 3-year contract with a ability to extend that 1 year at the end of that 3 years. 4 more years. So he's at the end of that possible extension. Yeah, rewriting what he actually does, apples to apples, is very important. If there's someone who comes in to undercut, what are we actually getting?
Yeah.
Because he does a lot.
Yes, both of these groups do a lot. I mean, they take a lot off our plate, for sure. So, yeah, we appreciate everything you guys do.
So we appreciate your support. I know some of you have very actively supported the cemetery in many different ways. Others, spend time there and having eyes on it on a regular basis is a good thing. So we do appreciate the opportunity to come and speak to you. I know you've got probably a long meeting and just got longer for a half hour long. So we appreciate it. You guys all know how to get a hold of me and Jake. So if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas, please feel free to reach out to us. Like I said, I will. Tomorrow I'll email each one of you. So are you just Jay Wagner at Medina now? Okay, and you're Espeliski, right? All right, so I got everyone else. I think I have yours too, Scott, already, but all right.
We're .gov now, don't forget.
Yep, I won't forget. Thank you. Anything else? All right. As much as I'd like to sit around and talk budget stuff, I'm gonna.
We got
Good luck. You got
Stay.
Before you show, I got one thing to say. We talked about borrowing the money years ago. You need to get the village attorney to go to the court and borrow some of that money. It's been sitting there. You've only increased the cost of what needs to be done because nothing got done. Some of these major things that you're talking about, the money's sitting in that some account, wherever the heck it is. We've been through this when Peggy was there. You've got to borrow that money and then pay back at a very nominal rate. You're just compounding all of your expenses.
Well, and it's important that we've gone through the trouble of this. I mean,
Yes.
the longer it sits without checking off some boxes, it's useless.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't think that money would be that hard to get access to.
Well, I mean, $89,000 sounds like a lot of money, but if you're gonna borrow 35 right off the bat, I mean, that's already like
Whatever
a
you're
third
gonna
of it.
borrow it for.
No,
I'm
yeah, I
just
know.
saying that money's sitting there.
Yeah.
And then those people that put that money in there did not. They put it in there so that their graves could be taken care of. You can't tell me that's not what they would think. So, I go back many years with the commission, and I just think we have to respect what those people, what we likely think their intention. You'll get the money, but you gotta do it.
We appreciate that. And
You need
Just-
help, I'll be there.
Um,
I'll help with that, John.
and just so you're aware, the newel one is probably the second most expensive thing to do there. The first is the retaining wall that's on the North Gravel Road side. It's not as in bad condition, but it's holding up a heck of a lot of the hill. So that would be something to be done professionally down the line. Like I said, it's not as in bad shape as newel. It's not coming apart. At least it's a cement wall, so it's a little bit more stable. But so although yes, the 89,000 isn't going to get nearly half of it done. It'll at least put a good effort
Well,
in,
yeah,
and,
that's good to know.
and the more that we do, the more it attracts attention of people that wanna help out and all that, so.
Yeah, definitely put that on your calendar.
Great, well, thank you very much, I appreciate it. All of you people sitting here watching the budget meeting.
Thank you.
There's better things on TV, but enjoy your time.
Yes. That's right.
All right, so before we get into the budget, I wanna just, present an email today, so let's get this off the table, but, the code enforcement officer is apparently, he didn't really ask me, but he has switched, how should I say it, he switched his hours, based on, approval apparently from the previous mayor. Switched his hours to 4 10-hour days. And I was not aware of this until the clerk's office was having an issue with the timesheet and whatnot, so, I had a talk with him yesterday and, I told him that I didn't think that that was something that was specifically up to the mayor to decide, and so I wanted the board to make a decision about what his hours should be. So,
Let me start.
if you want to start,
I mean, if I responded to the email, I mean, he works for the taxpayers and he should be available when the taxpayers need him Monday through Friday, not just 4 days a week. That's how it was set up. I don't know if he has a contract or not.
he has an agreement, but I don't believe it says, it just says 40 hours.
You
Doesn't
know,
say what.
I just think he needs to be available for the taxpayers. And that's what's paying him. And,
What was his, hours or what was it?
Was it 8 to 4:30?
Half an hour lunch.
Um,
Or is it an hour? Or 4?
mm,
Oh, yeah. Never did. I was not aware that he changed. Really hasn't. Previous mayor did that. Without consulting the board.
Well, sorry, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think 5 days is appropriate. I do think we'll have to have a resolution if that's the case, because I think we've never set his hours, and I think it is under the purview of the mayor. But I mean, you're also the mayor now, so I guess you don't really need a resolution. You set the hours, but either we should have a resolution of the board, and then that puts it in the board's purview until another board changes it, or if you want it to continue to be, or if we as a board want it to continue to be at the direction of the mayor, then we wouldn't do anything, and you would just run the day to day. Like, because we haven't resolved an agreement of work hours for him in the past, that I don't think I didn't pull up this thing, but I don't think his actual work hours are in there. I think it's just, yeah, so if we've never resolved anything, then either we can tonight and then it becomes the board's decision, or you can just change them to what you think is appropriate, and then unless the board makes a resolution in the future, it would continue to fall under the purview of the mayor.
After talking to him. What was the reason to change? What was the?
Well, all he really said was he can get more work done by working 6 to 4:30. He wants to work 6 to 4:30.
I as well talked to the mayor about it, and I talked to Dan about it, and I was in agreement with it. By no means was I like, just change your hours, but I like the 410s, me personally. He does serve taxpayers for his 40 hours. Me personally, I know when I used to have a work schedule and have a code enforcement officer available at 6 o'clock in the morning before either I went to work or, like those hours for me just weren't conducive. I used to, when I was younger, worked in Rochester, I'd be leaving at, 6:30 in the morning, getting back in town at 5, so. Right. So it does get convenience for people to trade. They started, I'm gonna see the code enforcement officer at 6 o'clock in the morning, both sides of it. And I honestly felt too, that you do get more done in the morning too, where you're serving the community. But it's uninterrupted time for him for a lot of, I think the workload that he has over there. And, like during the day, for me, it was 50-50. So I was just taking his recommendation of what he thought that he could get mostly done. So I was for it just because it created a better work environment for him. I was good for it, and I believe that it would serve, even though he wouldn't be there for one day. A lot of people have to take work off to go see the code enforcement officer when he's there earlier or later.
Would you, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm getting ahead of him. What about, would you guys be interested in giving him like a, 6 to 2:30 or whatever on Fridays, or, a day of his choosing, or maybe so that there was a day where he was in earlier to suit folks who might need that kind of schedule?
I mean, that would really be up to him, but, that's the only proposal that he came with, so I was just all right. Really.
And then one more thought, and then I'll stop interrupting people, is maybe because now that I'm thinking about it, we put Christian and Steve's hours into that working condition paperwork. So just as a side note, it might be appropriate for us as a board to set those hours by resolution rather than leave it. Not that I don't think it should be in your hands. I'm just thinking for consistency purposes, it might be more appropriate for us to set a resolution since it's on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think it should be just in the mayor's hands. I think that was my opposition in the first place. I mean, I feel like I'm bouncing him around now, because he, was working one set of hours, and then, now he has a discussion. Now he thinks he can work these other hours, and now I come in and say, well, no, you can't. I mean, I think that it's not about him. I think it's about the taxpayers, and I think it's about the availability of him in that office and what hours that office is open. I think that's where the focus should be, not on him so much. I mean, this is the job, and this is what's required, and it's required to be there during these hours, and that's when you get your work done. And if I don't know if it's not being available to the public, then maybe something else could be worked out. I mean, there's probably other building inspectors or code enforcement officers that are even open on Saturdays. He could have Wednesday afternoon off and work on a Saturday morning. I don't think that's what he wants, and I don't think that's what he's requesting. I think, so, I don't necessarily want to go there because I don't really want there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brought the board and it should be very correct.
Somebody. Okay, does somebody want to make a motion to set his hours, or?
Do we want to offer him, do you think, is it appropriate to offer him one day with earlier hours? Or do we want to consult him and see if that's something that he wants before we do the board resolution, just so we're not making two of them? And then in the meantime, really, in lieu of a resolution, you're the boss of the department heads. Like, you would get the opportunity to make that shift immediate with him and then come back with us and we can formalize it by resolution.
Right, I didn't end up telling him that. I just said, I figured we would just figure it out sooner than later, so that, I didn't want to change it on my own.
He's on, but it does, complicate things with like vacation time and sick time, 10 hours, I mean, we had an incident the other day because he's off on Fridays, and it was Good Friday. So, okay, then I'll leave Thursday, work 2 hours, or, so, I mean, there is more complication to it than just, hey, just work 4 tenths and it's all good contractual and I'm good with it either, what did we put it back to? He's just on his regular hours right now?
I mean, and you can compare it to another
Eight
thing,
to
say,
four.
let's take the clerk's office and let them work 4 10 hour days, so they have to take Sunday off. I think that would be probably a bad call, you know.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of, I mean, I think the majority opinion is 5 days is ideal. But rather than set specific work hours are we amenable to making changes? Are we amenable to giving him like a
Well, if you
6
change
to
it to
2:30
six,
or
if you
whatever?
change just to 6 on Friday, only 6 hours, you got 2 more hours.
Well,
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah, would we be amenable to adjusting if that was what he was looking for? So that he got a couple hours of uninterrupted or minimally interrupted time? Or if we're
Make it
not,
Monday instead of Friday.
sure, I mean, I'm
If
not.
I was gonna do something like that, it would be Monday, because it's your lesser. I think, maybe I'm wrong, so
I mean, it doesn't matter to me, it's
Yeah.
whatever works for him and the residents.
I still
So,
think Fridays.
yeah, I mean, if we're not interested in offering an early thing, then yeah, just make a resolution now to go back to what it was.
Well, he's on right now, the 7 to 4:30, right?
Or it was 8 to 4:30.
Or 8 to 4:30.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
So that's what he's on now?
Well, I think he's still working the 4-day thing this week, because I didn't tell him not to. I told him I was gonna bring it to the board, just. Yeah. Because I was gonna wait till Monday's meeting, but then I thought we were getting together tonight, we could just get it done with, and then next week he could start off at whatever the board decided. He decided to change it. What do you think, Mark?
I like the 5 days, what he was working. I think that's what people are used to. And, that's when he took the job, that's what the hours were at. That, I think we're trying already. We're looking at, one of the girls help him. So we'll see how that works out. I think Fridays, being off on Fridays, especially if you got a project going on the weekend. Nice. I'm guilty of that. I do my stuff on the weekend, and I got Fridays off. If I need a permit, that's the day that I'm going. You know, or if I need to speak to, because I'm a big one. If when Marty Bush was in there, everybody kept asking, "Hey, live out there? Go see Marty." Now it's go see Dan. His irregular business hours. It is an office. That's my opinion. I think it should be the 5 days of what it was before. If he wants to come in and give us a rundown on how he feels, apparently I never heard that. Scott and Marguerite were the only ones that got the, and I'm up there, I've been up there lots of times, at least every couple of weeks I'll stop up and talk to him. He's never told me that.
Well, what's the board want to do? Does somebody want to make a motion we can vote on, or do you want to leave it as is and wait till Monday if somebody else let us know? What do you want to do?
I'll make a motion that goes at 5 days a week and 8 to 4:30.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, got it, Jay. First place.
Excuse me.
Salaries. Salaries. So I asked Jaden to get, what the current salaries were, and then, because I thought it was a little hard to read,
on the budget sheets, like where everyone was at, with what they were asking for. So I thought maybe that might be a good place to start. So one other, so in the past, we've had discussions about, department head salaries, and, in the way past, everybody got 1%, 2%, no raise, whatever it was, everybody got the same. All the department heads. In the last couple of years, we've had discussions regarding merit-based raises. I found those uncomfortable and difficult and opinionated. So, which is not really fair. So two things. I'm just wondering, is the board interested in like giving raises based on merit? Or are we just giving raises across the board? And if we are interested in giving raises based on merit, shouldn't we be doing some sort of evaluation so that when we're talking about merit, we have something to go by and not just.
I totally agree. I don't know how that you can run a business without doing evaluation on your, especially your head people, because look at the budgets that they're controlling. And just because we think that they're doing a great job, are they really? And you have to set some type of standard up to evaluate them, to say either you need to stay or you need to go, or you're doing a great job. And merit does come into it. I mean, and I use my previous life. I mean, I didn't average 5 to 6, 7% raise every year, and some of the guys I get 2, but there was a reason for it, and they knew that reason why they didn't get that. You know, with the overtime there in some of these budgets that we had, that I've seen, you know, they'd be getting no raise as far as I was concerned. That's how I feel about it, though. I mean, but they haven't been held accountable to those standards yet. So until we actually set that up and they're evaluated and held to a standard, you still have, people still need to have some work base, still need to get a raise. So.
Right. So there's two things.
So right now for what little bit I know about this whole thing, you might want to do a percent raise for right now, and then institute something like an evaluation system. And they should really be evaluating their own people too. You know, not every. I mean, it'd be nice if they did one every quarter, but that's probably unrealistic. But if they get done every 2 months or twice a year, that would be like that.
Do they? Any departments do evaluations?
Used to. Last I knew, they at least one.
Yeah, I think that that's the right move. I just don't want to bleed too much into what is a board responsibility versus what, I'm assuming that we should not be, we can give input, but we should not be evaluated.
No, we would write to that. Yes, the mayor to write.
Right, and then we would use that input from your evaluation when we set but I just don't want 5 people observing department heads and each giving our own individual perception when you're the person working with them day to day. You're the person that is, not that we won't have input, I'm sure people absolutely have input, but
a lot
I
of
just want to make sure
evaluation.
that the responsibility of the mayor gets to stay in the mayor's hands.
Well, I think my purpose of bringing that up was just what I said, that I felt like for the last 2 years, we were discussing raises based on how we thought people did in their job. And I was uncomfortable with that.
I agree.
And so I just don't want to continue that.
Yeah.
I just want to continue that practice.
I think that's a good instinct.
Yeah. So then any raises that we get would be uniform across the board for department heads. I mean, is that a fair?
Right. So when you did the evaluation, you would make it, not just their own personal, how they run their cruising and stuff, but also financial of how well they run their budgets. You give me a good budget and you run it, you make it, you get a better raise. And He wants $10,000. Has he not had a raise in years or?
No.
Okay, I mean, but they should not go a long time without getting a raise.
We also could plan plan an annual cost of living increase.
Right,
And
right.
then have evaluations be a
Correct.
additional percentage that they could.
Yeah,
Like
you-
we could certainly brainstorm together to pick some rubric for you to evaluate on.
Right.
And then, like Jeff said, if it's provided to them, then they can follow it
Right,
and
they would
see
have
if they
to
can.
know. That's right.
And then they would have a year
Mhm.
to kind of work toward those goals. And then if they reach those goals, we could have a monetary amount.
And you can
assigned.
make the evaluation as strong as you want or as weak as you want. You know, if you got, let's say you got a department head that's not doing a good job with his budget, you might want to focus in on him and give him some time frames that he work instead of just getting rid of somebody. You really want to you've already got time and money spent into them. You really want to make them a better person, a better manager.
Yeah.
And if that a year's time goes by and he's not, well, then you have the other conversation. So they just keep everybody accountable. So I agree with you.
I got, Steve and Christian, their contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Did they sign their contracts? Did we know what happened with their contracts?
Well, they're not
You talking about
contracts,
their
right?
personal
Working
contracts?
conditions.
Right.
Their contracts.
Did they get signed?
No.
Yeah, okay, that's still an open kind of.
Well, I don't know that they need to be, because whether or not the board sets the conditions. The board resolved the conditions. We provided them to the employee. I know historically we've had signatures on them, but I don't know that we're required to do so.
Okay, well, I think the main thing that, we were looking, cause we had adopted it, like at a board meeting, you know, like resolved to accept it. I think that was part of it,
Okay,
the
that
issue, so
that
that's,
could be.
but now it's been a few months and,
You probably still should though, right?
yeah, I do think we should still. I just wanna make sure that what we have is what is, I guess, or what it should be. I don't know if everyone has a copy of it or, I actually had that scheduled for our workshop on Monday. So in the meantime, I'll send out a copy to everyone and then everybody can look it over it. Just to make sure and then we can vote on it. Or we can discuss it at the workshop and then vote on it then at the end of the month or whatever. Do either. Okay.
Would you like some kind of evaluation presented to you? Just some ideas?
Like a sample.
Yeah, it's just,
thing? If you have something, sure.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I mean, any place to start would be.
Yeah, I mean, because and they'll probably evolve as time goes by as you look at them and it's like, because they change sometimes you're depending on what you're looking at.
I don't wanna make it action.
So Jason was asking for 10-4, Dan was asking for 9-8. Is that what was on the sheet? For some reason I thought Dan was asking for 5.
Well, that's what I've heard somewhere along the line that was like that, which.
That increase amount is all Dan, not, some of that's not, adding a clerk over there.
Not that I'm aware of, because in 3620,
That's no problem.
we put, he's got 35 weeks, 16 hours a week.
Okay,
That full amount was in 3620.
okay.
Okay.
So I mean, maybe you could check with him on that amount, but,
So we must pick up a
it's the 3 months together. In 3620, 80-10 and 80-20.
Thanks.
He's got two sides. Okay. So this is the figure, right? That's a total. That's his total.
That's where it's at.
That's the shit. Okay.
You just have to.
He gets a raise or gets girl in the office, which one is going?
He didn't get a raise last year.
Well, and that shouldn't happen either. Nobody should go without a raise, because they don't deserve it.
He didn't get much.
Don't look at me like that.
Whole reason I'm looking like that, my son works for Xerox, I had a
No,
raise
but I
of
mean-
5.
Alright. When's the last time before John's?
Last year.
We did?
Mhm.
I think we ought to get. I just call him. Cool.
I'm still so mad. We got $200 left. All that does, it doesn't change our lives, but it upsets people to see that the board members have to. That's been in the back of my throat for a year, driving me nuts.
Well, I think you made like 37 cents. Is that fair?
Minus
Bumping right up to
66. 6327. Oh, 59. Okay, that's not right. So that's 5914.
Still. Still 9%, right?
Next year's.
Jason wants $104,000 raise.
That's not good.
That's what's not good. I can approve that. Get a cut.
Oh, because I. Like, yeah. It's meeting and something else.
Is that included in that figure there? Or is that above that? Is that, excuse me, is that in that figure or is that above
No,
there?
that's right up.
Okay, those are then you get to stay on top of that. Is that just for payers that cost of heat? Or is that-
It's one second I use.
So when he goes with me, that's okay.
Actually, he gets it regardless of whether or not he goes to a meeting. The way it's written is he gets X number of dollars per month because of that meeting, right?
I thought it was, he had to attend certain meetings and show proof of that attendance, like 80% or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe, but what I'm saying is like, he doesn't say, I went to a meeting, pay me. He gets paid, right?
He gets a stipend one time a year.
Yeah,
But you don't add it up to go, he's gonna get this much money. I know what you're saying, he just gets it whether he goes or not, right?
oh, right, like if the zoning board meetings are canceled, which frequently they are, he, like, that doesn't.
It says this payment will be, it says this payment will be based on submission of proof of at least 80% attendance of the total of the following monthly meetings. County Planning Board, Medina Village Planning Board, Zoning Board, Waterfront Committee, Department head meetings, board meetings, and any other requested to attend as mayor. So,
And my understanding is a canceled meeting does not go against his 80% attendance. So if the zoning board meeting is canceled, then he attended. Or it's removed from the total that adds up to 100%.
Does every department head get that?
No,
Okay, just, okay.
and if I remember correctly, the clerk who takes the minutes for zoning and planning, she gets paid if the meeting is held and she takes the minutes. Like she gets paid for the meeting she attends, a stipend.
Yeah, she'll turn in something and shows proof that.
So why would that be? for him to- Again, I go back to accountability. You work, you get paid. If you don't work, you don't get paid.
imagine that.
Huh?
Well, in any event, it's whatever's in his work agreement.
Okay, but if it's in there, well, then that should be amended.
Yeah, which,
Everything.
because this is,
I would add that to the workshop discussion.
yeah.
And we can kind of confirm them all at once.
Just accepting those, or were we not putting an ending date on them anymore?
We have not put an ending date on them. The newer ones do not.
Yeah, so what are we?
I got, and just one more thing about the evaluations. In that evaluation too, also it gives you a chance to sit down and you talk about how everybody's doing, and it also gives you that feedback. So if he had wanted to go to 4 to 10 hour days, that might have been a good free conversation to have somewhere along the line, and it document that. So, sorry, we need to do that.
No, but that's a good point. So what do we get? We just no worries with that. Just cut.
All right, it takes it out of your hand and puts it in, holds them accountable for what they need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian's actually 2%, that's pretty mild. Why does it make 2%?
Well, most of the contracts.
They've always
Is that what
been,
it is?
or they've always been like 2%.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, until a couple years ago, that was pretty standard. Then it kind of fluctuated between 2 and 3.
But I go back to an evaluation, if you go back to that and if you've been able to control your overtime or your turnover of your police officers, your fire department or DPW, that would come in their evaluation, and all of a sudden he said, well, instead of making 2%, next time maybe make 6%, but I gotta do this. Who cares if you pay him 6%? He's already saved that money a lot more, to get to that. I know you can't do that today, but we gotta figure out how we gotta pay these guys.
Yeah, right.
That's all.
It's okay. You're just thinking ahead, that's okay.
I'm very passionate.
What do you think? What do you think over there, Mark? You're writing stuff down. Okay.
Well, sure. Not yet, not done yet.
Okay. So has Jason, so Dan didn't get a raise last year, right?
Mhm.
Did Jason get a raise?
Yes.
Yes.
How much was it for Jesus? I thought that.
You should have a typo.
I know my notes there. I don't have. Stuff I can hardly carry.
I know Jade and Todd have their pamphlets, and I love that booklet, and I left mine at home. I didn't know they were gonna reference it so much. I was sitting there.
I know, and I thought about it for the year that I should be gone.
I had it in my hand, I set it down. But I know exactly what they're talking about all the time. I know exactly every spot there.
Your dog goes.
No,
It's not every spot. though.
I know every spot where my dogs go right there.
School's got. It's got plenty of room. Yeah.
You know, in the Boxwood Cemetery, that like iron fence that's up there. That the guy that built the house that we live in, he's buried there.
Really?
That white picket fence we have around our house, he actually, that started with me on that house. Ed Davies.
Who was it?
Ed Davies, he was a sleigh and carriage maker. He made them in the building behind Medina Lumberyard. Call me Ron Stewart. I love traffic. It was pretty smart.
I have it. Jason wanted 75,000 last year, which was a 9.3% increase.
So he got 9.3 last year.
It's highlighted in yellow on my document.
Oh, I
Easy to
love
find.
it. I love it.
So,
And Dan got 0. And we had 2 department heads. So,
Yeah.
and what did Dan request last year?
8%.
He
Wait,
requested
I don't know what
8%.
he, hold on, I don't have what he requested. Oh yeah, it must have. 'Cause he didn't- 8%.
You know how to be fair and equitable. Just do 3% across the board right now. Work up the valuation. Have them all in, explain the situation. How they can make more money. Wonderful winners. What's that? This is what he gets paid now. This is what his new rate would be. Good job. He does not get overtime. Yeah. She was
Okay, those are fair to me.
Oh,
That was my head, was it? Yeah.
oh, they have to.
13.654.
So this is the salary plus this plus the. So he himself.
When 2 more points, there's still about 2% for us to work.
You have come out of retirement.
Wow, you are.
Oh, man. Oh.
Right.
Right.
But this is the,
So, 2%. That would be my question. I don't know, what does a superintendent make in the rural side? For them.
What's the size?
Right?
We don't have Miranda.
Okay.
No,
I don't know who it would be, I don't know. But just,
No, I
okay,
had
somebody
that.
has water,
for the,
right?
So,
So,
she's like,
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a building around there. Yeah, for them, figures.
I sent him an email.
You have to be like.
I'm proposing 2%.
Here's the email I sent.
of everyone.
Yeah.
2% of everyone, just,
Hold on, I have
okay.
one other thing I want to add. But let me make sure I can say it cohesively.
Okay.
We'll understand it. Put that away, Jeff.
You can't compare it, it's not, it was a what, it was 128.
Yeah.
But it's also a whole, you can't really compare because there's a camera. I know. But I found a nose over 60,000.
Oh, well, it's not that.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into the equation there. I mean, it's not.
No, I mean, really, you know.
Okay, I think the white smoke is
Right.
visible.
Okay,
So it looks like if we did a 2% increase, did you come up, Mark, with 7,586 roughly altogether of an increase? And a 3% increase would be 11,379.83, which is a total difference if we went 3% instead of 2% to $3,793.28. I don't know how big of a difference that's gonna be in our overall budget, but I think it will be a meaningful difference to the employees. So unless we're, especially because 2 employees asked for 2% or less, and 3 employees asked for substantially higher. So I like that we're rolling out the, we're gonna, anticipate a cost of living increase with each budget. But if you were looking to exceed that, this is what the evaluation is gonna look like.
Right.
And so to me, that's a carrot, but also it's not for $3,800 in our overall budget. I'm not sure we are going to be frustrated with sharpening our pencils, but I think it will make an appreciable difference to the folks specifically that they were asking for so much more and they haven't, to Jeff's point, had a rubric to measure up against in the past. I'm just concerned with coming in that much lower when we made it several meetings without me using the word morale, so I don't want to bring it in
but you
today.
just did.
But here we are. So for $3,800, I don't know how important it is to our overall budget.
But I think it would be important that if we do decide that we want to move forward with evaluations, would be to talk to the heads and say, look, we're going to come up with a plan where you have an opportunity to do better than 3% or 2% or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
You might have the base of 2% with, I hate to say bonus system, but it would be.
Well,
That's your
they
merit-based
already,
increase.
yeah, they already have work agreements, so let's not get carried away.
No,
I mean,
but I tell you what, this would be better than a work agreement. If you get somebody that will control their cost, which doesn't look like we've had that in a long time, and they can do that, why not let them reap the benefits of what they're able to do? It works.
Yeah, it's not a bonus so much as
It's not a
us
bonus, it's what,
paying to somebody who will reduce our expenses.
yeah, and work and do what they're paid to do.
and I'm not opposed to that, however, these are base salaries that we're looking at right here.
I understand.
And those work agreements are full of all kinds of little goodies that
I know, I saw that.
drag this, this amount way up. So let's
But I'll
not
say
get too,
this,
I don't wanna, these aren't,
well, you can't just,
these
you
aren't
gotta have a
measly,
plan of
these aren't
what you want.
measly salaries, these are.
I lost my train of thought.
Well, I mean, if you, maybe in the future, then work agreements could be worked around. But then see, we get into the whole thing with, well, unions get this, and so then the department heads have to get what the unions get. And so, I mean,
Correct.
I get what you're
But the
saying.
department heads are not union, correct?
They're not, but they get all the benefits that the unions get.
Okay. But if you want, how much money do we have in overtime this year? We got almost $600,000. Is that what it is?
Probably.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not that much.
Who's more? We can go and tell everybody we want you to cut your overtime, but they're not gonna do it until they have a reason to do it. And the reason to do it is because they have an opportunity to make more money because they do that. Yeah. It's business.
Yeah, but through the union, a lot of it's contractual, like.
They're not union. Those for the,
No, but
they're
I'm-
not union, but correct?
Right, but like a lot of the policy that we have, so like we had one firefighter that was out he's been out for a whole year. And when we were down the staff, we by law are required to have 4 firefighters.
I know, but I'm not talking about firefighter. I know that's a whole different.
Right, but I'm saying that's where the overtime comes from, not from our department. They don't do it.
They don't, but they have control of it. They can still control, they can still control, they may control, not get because of contract and everything else. You still control your overtime, you still control all of your costs, whether it's fuel, whether it's labor, whether it's supplies, whether it's maintenance. And if you have a budget and you can prove that you're not, I'll stop talking on things, I know we're running behind here, but I'm kind of passionate about it. Okay, about it.
That's why you and I are.
Butt heads.
Yeah, no,
No.
we're not.
Gotta make money.
There it is.
So,
Yeah.
What's that? See, he lets you and I talk, he's a bit bigger. I'm a little different than everybody. How I figure things, so. Usually do this. You're plugging the stall for a while, give you time to think.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird.
We can always go back to it. We can always go back to it. I want to cut something. So.
I got a couple of things to cut too. So start with 2%.
They're waving to me, they can't hear you over
I'm just talking to myself as
there. You gotta tell her. I hear you.
Can't hear you. Yeah, I was just adding stuff in my head, basically talking to myself. I'm looking at, I figured this out with, their increases of what their numbers would be with what they're asking for. And then I figured in 2%, and then I figured 3%. And, overtime. And that's why I was off, that's why I was thinking I missed one. And
Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to specifically address tonight, or should we start at the beginning? Is it no? Okay. So, I'm thinking that, we need to, we can make some cuts, but I think we almost really have the department heads back in here to discuss that. And I think that there's, did we want to Do we wanna put anything in the Boxwood? What do we wanna do about that? What everyone's thought about
So I did have a question on that. So we can touch the interest money,
Mhm.
correct? And then we have the property maintenance fund. And I know last year we allocated $5,000 for tree removal. So indirectly, that would get us pretty close to, if we put that in there, the two of them, at least for the Newell wall. Todd could actually get started on, searching a grant, looking for a grant. We're really not out any additional taxpayers' money. Where we didn't, carry it over. We might get it back. And we could, have Matt, go in front of Joe Piavo. What's he gonna say? No to us? We can't get our own money, right?
It's gotta be this, I think it's the, Albion, you guys.
They gonna say no to us too?
I think you'd get them, you've got a perfect reason to get them on.
Right.
I think
Well,
we
for
almost
whatever
got the
reason.
money last time we had, I
You know,
don't know how it got dropped.
We're making $3,600 a year, so we got, 4 years of interest sitting in there. We might as well use it, and, like, we don't deplete the fund, and we still make a couple thousand a year on interest, but we get it started where we have a significant project, we're really not out any money. Or is that wrong thinking?
No, I think that's,
No, I think it looks like it's there. It looks like it's right there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why wouldn't we just spend it?
But at least that way we could go off that quote, and he could, Todd could, I know we have a grant writer, but I'm sure he's gonna know where to look, and even if he brought us in 5 or 10 off it, then we could replenish the property maintenance fund with that, so they could start on another project. The Job Corps got kids, chief there is actually came from a restoration company. So once, we talk to JT, they get with them, I think they need a lot of traction over there. For them, we plan on getting them for the steps at City Hall this year as well. So that's just my thought on it.
Well, so we could add, the 35,000 to the capital expense, and then we could add the 35,000 in revenue. This coming fund. Here,
Just be a lot.
and then in the meantime too, I mean, I don't know, I'd like to talk to Jason about getting some other things done on that list. I don't know what kind of money that
I know,
would mean.
I thought he had talked about the other wall drainage last year, and I thought that we had in the budget for the drainage behind the east-west wall.
I thought you were
Which
talking
would
about
be
the
north
drain,
side.
and I wasn't on the board, but I thought you were talking down below, down there where that water just lays down, that was talking about. That's what you want. Down by the mausoleum or something.
Are you thinking like 24,000 out of property maintenance and then 11 out? I'm sorry, yeah, the property maintenance 24,000, and then the interest 11.
Sure. I mean, he said that Friends of Boxwood would be kicking in, so if the quote did go up, they did get, and I think that would get us heading in the right direction from over there.
Yeah, but we like, pick another project.
Well, he said he should have something ready to show us something more of what he's looking to do, so.
I'm good with that, Jess.
Yeah, and the tree removal too, I don't know, who's keeping it?
What's that?
Tree removal,
So,
Shaw,
Yeah, and I don't think
I don't think they've-
we didn't do any. No, so I,
we always
Is that
got
money,
money
is that money still there? I know we kept it in there last year.
there.
yeah,
I think it was
I mean, we really need to do something about that, 'cause I've been over there, it's dangerous. It can be dangerous. 8810. I mean, if he's not gonna do it, I mean, we're budgeting the money, if we're budgeting the money, he should be doing the work.
Should have asked Todd for there, what it was.
For sure. Oh, we have 18,000 there, and there's just one thing. Which is what? How much is this? So, yeah, I mean, I don't think we pay any tree removal there. Yeah,
There was a reason why we left that last year. Should have asked Todd. Sure. And dangerous.
yeah, that's the last time I went over there and walked around, it was,
there's some bad things over there.
they're dead.
Yeah.
But I think he's cheaper.
Oh,
So,
Shaw.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, if it's somebody else, it's probably gonna be more. He doesn't want to do it, but
something between him and Short.
who to put down the list to ask Jason wants to feel about that.
I thought the drainage, we had to get a grant for that, that's why. we did the grant last year, so. Maybe get- For something else.
You want me to talk to him, Mike?
Just,
You're right.
yeah, and then if we need to add anything here, doing anything else on that list. If he's got time to do it,
Who's that?
Jason. The time.
Oh, to do the other stuff? Yeah,
Do some
that,
of the other things.
you know, if they can get grants and that stuff, and I think that once you get something going, it just seems like it kind of perpetuates things. So, maybe we figure it out.
We're gonna wrap up at 8, but then I want a short executive session, so. It's gonna be okay, because then we can talk about, actually 2 contracts. One contract increase. Brief, though. So where did we leave off? Went through page by page last
We
time.
just did the fuels and then
Oh, that's like, oh, that's like, utilities, yeah. Okay. We started, and we got sidetracked. Okay, you want to do audit.
still there.
So, kind of like while we're on the subject. You want to go on full time? You want to talk about that now? You want to think about that? We talk about it? Do we want to put some people in the Dan's office? Do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to say that for
If we don't wanna talk about it now, then let's think about it, so when we talk about it.
Yeah, I think we probably wanna know where we're at with our budget before we start deciding anything that might increase.
I think it's already in there,
It's already in there,
so it would probably come out, but
And-
I want
and
everybody
she's in
thinking
water.
about it, so we're not sitting there.
Well, I mean, if-
Right, I just was thinking about maybe not confirming anything until it kind of, it'll help us better decide whether or not we want to move that to the budget when we know more about where we're at.
That person and also the one that they want to take down, put down in the water sewer for 4 years to start training. And I really think that we need to, even Jason said it, he could, even if we didn't do it this year, you need to start that. I think we need that 1 year to pull all the stuff together. I'd rather see him out of that for this year. I mean, it's substantial.
I did talk to him in the, yesterday. So, I mean, with that, we're not just getting a water sewage treatment plant guy and trainee. We actually have 3 over there where they would actually be doing, like me in my position where they're, snow plowing, mowing on, the north side of the canal over there, Park, Lions Park, Wall Street Park, the dog park, compost. So it's.
But if they take him over to there, then they're gonna bring another person in to replace him.
Right.
If that guy goes over.
Well, so we'll have that conversation with them. That's kind of what I
No,
was.
but in his budget, he has that person over there.
Yes, but we talked about it yesterday, so yeah, we probably ought to just table that.
Did he budget for a replacement person as well? We know.
I think he did.
Yeah, so I mean, so there's my point, we're adding 50, whatever, I don't know how much it is, like say $50,000 plus all the other extra goes with it. At a time when we're talking whether we want to give our department heads 2% or 3%. Just saying. Just putting
I
that out there.
think that was gonna be one or the other. So we came up with yesterday.
Gonna be-
The one or the other. Not moving something over and handle.
That's not how it presented to me.
No, that's how when we talked about. it
Okay,
yesterday.
because I mean,
So-
all right, okay.
So we'd have to get with them and see how that works. Yeah.
But for budget purposes, if we want to present a budget, we have to assume that.
Well, he's gonna come in and talk.
Okay.
about, where we're gonna be with that.
He's coming sweet, right?
Where'd he go?
Oh,
Where's Jason? Oh, I thought he went somewhere. I thought you said he went somewhere.
When it came from that.
no, I think he's at like
He's
a
on he's
training.
on vacation for him.
He's what?
He's at a training
He's
or something. I don't know.
Okay, well, I think I need to know.
Yeah. Probably.
I think I need to.
he's hanging out with
to
that
know.
water from,
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
No, I know where he is. We,
Oh,
I think, the other, was it yesterday? Yesterday is the day before the meeting here.
So that's it.
All the DPW guys, they had some training or something.
And that's what he's got for the.
Did you see
It
him?
was pretty
Did you
good.
see him today?
yesterday.
It was yesterday, and he didn't say he was going anywhere?
He might have.
Scott.
I don't know. He wasn't asking for permission, so I just, I know. I was more concerned about our streets.
Did I just not
So he did
appoint
that.
you
So he
to?
does want
I need to pay attention to that.
Listen, you're supposed to be filling in the cracks.
Well, that's what I was talking about. I came down West Ave yesterday. Not even say where the window when she was coming down West Ave today.
We're cutting it 42. Linda's only saying.
I didn't mean completely, I meant like. in the
Oh,
effort.
200. Okay, so what do we
Then
decide?
I'd have to
Is
give
it in
one.
here? Is it- I just
So this
pulled it
is,
out.
yeah.
Good fool around. Yeah.
Yeah, there's somebody.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. I did my homework this time.
I say we just cut it.
Well,
Yes.
He sat right here and said you could go, he says, if we didn't do it this year, in 3 years would be fine. So I really,
yeah,
yeah,
so
so
you're saying cut
say,
the,
cut it for this year, give us a chance to,
right, because we don't want to be over there right
no, I'm not saying that we shouldn't train somebody, I just don't think that if we can do it in 3 years versus 4 years, you might find somebody off the street that says, I want to come to the diner.
now.
That's our thing. I'll find you.
It'll make you fun. Somebody comes out of school and goes, hey, I want to go get sewer treatment plant. And he does it.
You never know.
Find that guy. And
I
living
had a guy that overnight night maintenance and he wanted to stay in it because he just.
So if we take that out, we take it out of both places, right?
I'm just looking, cause he's got one in 8130 in sewer. On step one,
So, pretty much.
but
Sewer
then,
maintenance.
but then there's also an MEO step one. There's two,
So you're gonna hire 2 guys?
Oh, yeah, there is two.
so I don't.
Well, that's the one that we kind of want to do. Next year. Oh, let's at least take the one out of the sewer.
Let's take some sewer.
I'm gonna hurt you.
So I'm removing the fire in the sewer. Removing the fire in the sewer.
Are we in agreement on that?
Yeah. What's the amount of that? 67,
Yeah.
62. 791.
That we're taking out of their sewer?
Out of the sewer. Yeah, because I
I don't pay sewer.
Scott, this isn't about you. Oh, we don't get this too much. You don't get me.
You're already over.
We're gonna do it. Well, you know what? We don't do either.
What are we paying over there? How much do they?
We did, we got one last year, I think it was the first time in about 10.
What do we pay? First step.
What do you? $4,200 annually.
Oh, I go to Shell.
Oh, no, they get it for them.
They get paid more than we do?
I think so,
And
you
they-
used to at least.
And it was $200.
And they get these chairs.
Instead of putting another tax bracket, I don't want to do
They get paid more money, nice chairs and heat.
Yeah, they're gonna
All kind of fees.
Well, not yours.
that. I haven't. I'm not.
I'm a
I'm
visitor.
over here too. What do you pay?
I'll black. I'm not too cheap, I'll bring the campus spray paint.
Bring over some folding chairs over here.
You would let her notice.
Bill's.
And just leave a note.
Bill's mafia table.
Oh, that's
Okay. The other thing we have to do before we wrap up is, schedule more meetings, so they can be a little bit more productive on this one.
We got a lot of time.
No, I'm just kidding, this was productive. This was productive. I mean, I appreciated the banter. Always the banter. I live for the banter.
Well, we,
Oh, the whole box would have inflation.
Yeah, there's-
Love it.
So is this the 10 for the 98 and whatever the 5
Yeah,
is
let's take out.
would be the 4,000? Is that now? So,
No, so what'd you decide on that? Are we, am I switching those? 2%. Yeah.
so we're gonna, yeah.
Hey, and that was-
Is he okay?
Wait. Those ones.
Yeah. But, yeah, so the top. Cut it down. We're getting close.
15, more than that.
Point.
Yeah, but if you take that out, half there.
Yeah, that doesn't affect this. So instead of 25.13%, you're at 25%.
Oh, I like it. Hey,
This is
Every day.
This is we got 0.1.
can't eat the elephant all in one day.
Well, we only got
12 days left.
not many.
Wow.
And, what about, yes, Scott got the calendar out. Saturday morning,
Over on sewer treatment plant.
Yes.
Yeah. Power gate. What was the price of that power gate? Oh, it's the price of that power gate.
3,000. I don't know, that's what 29.
I did have that.
I had that check too.
He's got the gate opener. 4,000.
How much?
4,000.
It's $2 a water bill per resident.
I guess, what's the power gate for anyways? Do they lock it up at night when they go home?
No,
Is
one
there-
guy's having a hard time closing it. And opening it. Cause on weekends, he's gotta come in by himself. They take turns. Somebody has to.
I understand that, but
somebody has to-
why do they gate it then? I mean,
Oh, you gotta
people get in there.
Yeah.
It's a popular place, I bet.
see what's up.
Community swimming pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been over there yet?
No, not yet.
I gotta take a tour.
I will. I got one
You
second.
haven't been
maybe
there.
like this,
You've
and
taken Scotty in.
then I got
I haven't been there.
You haven't? Oh.
I've been down in the patrol car, but
Steve would
not
love
inside.
to take you.
Been on the outside, but not inside.
All right, what's,
Not on my list.
did you wanna,
No attractions.
Right.
were you just wondering about it, or you want, what do you wanna discuss it?
Do we really that,
What?
the gate, power gate.
Thought there was something else that we could.
There was an overhead door too.
Yeah, that's.
That they were having.
Well, that had to be, they were a problem
Yeah.
with the gate. How many years of people opening, closing the gate, so now we, I don't know, I did go over there and watch you open and close it.
Yeah, why don't you guys do that? Go over there and take a look and decide whether or not it can be fixed or not.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Put a big wheel on it. That's what.
It's always open when I go there, so that's all I know.
That's what I do my
But it's
kids.
probably closed at night. Close it at night.
They do. They close there.
Is it locked too? I mean, they close it.
Which,
If we take water from E3, we can pay for that operator on that.
Did we finalize that deal with them or not?
No. Not yet.
I think they have another million gallons for us, so that's another 80.
did they say that?
Indirectly, so we were talking about dumping it, canal basin, the canal basin, like catch basin, there, and gravity feeding it, and only, downside is, getting them back out of there, which you back up right on Manila and, pull back out through.
Is it far enough? Did he say if that was far enough
Yeah.
away? Or- Because I know there's another one. It's right at the other side of the canal. Yeah. Quite different. Is it?
I don't know, he said that he wanted to get a blend before it went, so I think that
So
that,
far enough away. But that's a main run across. I think his concern that was getting far enough away so that it combines.
Mhm.
What do we need to do to either finalize that or not finalize?
I think it was just in the verbiage about property.
There's,
That was
there's a
just-
bunch of, didn't it have worded it,
Yeah.
everything, there was a whole bunch of things.
He answered 3 of them, but I think in our agreement was just some verbiage in there.
Is that what Matt has to do? He has to fix that verbiage? See what it
He
there?
does, but, we had it, I don't know, we have to get with Jason and Steve. and-
Where is he?
Where's Waldo?
He probably told, probably signed
I'm gonna
permission
text
to
him
sleep.
right now. Where are you? Keep reading. Well, yeah, cause we wanted to do it sooner than later to get that thing wrapped up and battle.
I think he planned on it because he had the roads for chips too, that we were gonna, fixing, what roads we were gonna do for that funding as well.
Oh,
Well, that big truck beat up that road on Manila Place there back in the.
No, they get deliveries from the lumber yard.
Oh, that's
Tractor
true. Oh, you're
trailers
right.
full,
Yeah,
like, so they get tractor trailers down there all the time, so, they make that swing through there all the time.
maybe one day we can talk about that, like during the day. Because he's not, but I'm sorry to say it was.
Never finalized too.
Yeah. I
With
think
his,
so.
the equipment we talked about.
Yeah, I talked, yeah,
Buy it, what we have to buy.
Yeah.
I really would, I think, I agree. I
In
think
the
put
roads.
that in there.
well, I went through and I had a couple of suspect spots that I talked to him about too about, so he's gonna put in there, for a couple, repairing ourselves with, milling, some mill and fill places over here, because you pay the mill is $6,000 a day, so for what we're doing on Park Ave, West Ave, so we're gonna get 2 full days, and then I think we're gonna do some of the repairs ourselves. He had a nice plan for the road repairs, so I think that we have everything covered.
For Jason.
Mill and fill with the milling,
No, the milling, and then Suco was gonna do, West Center, or West Ave, Keeler's doing Park Ave. He had it broken down, Williams Street was in there, he had the approaches on to Burnsmatic Drive as well, but he might hold back on those and go, a different direction for, a couple. But he had the list and had the prices, so he's got the prices coming in, he's still waiting for, a couple more prices, I think, on, cleanup around the DIs, manhole covers, a couple things, so. He's got most of it.
He's like, on West Ave, there are holes.
Yeah,
that are like,
that's gonna be a complete mill, but that was gonna go with soup coat over there. The problem is if we move forward, that's some of our worst infrastructure over there, so he's taken it into consideration too. There was a couple other places that we have to,
Can we just fill those for the time being though?
I think
that
that
some pretty deep.
They're
Yeah.
deep.
They're deep.
the plan is open, so he does plan on, getting some filling done. I believe this would, he'd have to talk with him, but the ones that he did seem to be holding up.
Yeah, exactly. They held up really nice, I thought.
Yeah, I think they got like I remember 8 ton.
Yeah. Thought he's, yeah.
They shoveled it and rolled it. And then rolled it. I think Jason, I thought I saw Jason out there. And, a couple guys shoveled it. You see what was up?
Yeah.
It's not a vacation.
There's a ball
Definitely wanna start filling those certificates.
West,
I
yeah,
saw them.
West End had bad. And two, if you notice on South Main, or, yeah, South Main, in front of Old Myers, where we did those areas. So there's quite a few, like, spot areas we're gonna do too, with chips when that comes through. But we were still waiting on those final numbers, right? Is that correct, Jada? They didn't get back to us?
Yes, I got an email and, we should be looking for the letter.
How much money we got left over?
I think there was around 200, actually. Can we meet Saturday morning? I didn't mention it before, she was okay with it. So, I was putting her out, but she was okay with it. Are you okay, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
6, 7, 5.
6 or 7 at night. Do you want me to talk? Do you want me to see?
oh my God. We have 206, 413 in state touring, and a little over 300,000 in chips.
206.
That we didn't appropriate? Oh, really?
I'll double check that with Brandon, but she's got it.
That we still have?
Should we?
Yeah, I think that when we met with him, we had a plan for what he was gonna do with that. Do you remember what that was?
No.
Well, I know Park Ave, I think it's gonna be 280,000. Yeah. Well,
We decided we could do Park Ave, we can do Park Ave. I thought it was a question.
Well, it is, as long as we get a waiver over the condition of it, you know, so it's, he doesn't think there'll be a problem with it, but that's really the to call.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing.
Unless my daughter wants to talk about that.
All the way to,
He's gonna have to, you said those streets like 5 times and they're not stuck here at all.
so West Ave,
Okay,
I'm from Ohio.
Ohio as well,
Okay.
all of West End?
all of West Ave.
Wow, Ohio, just by the hospital.
Yeah, going down to by the academies.
Yeah.
Not all the way down by the hospital's actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
From Eagle up, it's good.
Oh, okay. I haven't been over
From
there.
West Center down.
Yeah.
It's like I ran.
What time are we meeting here on Saturday?
Okay, and we keep getting sidetracked. Well, not 6 or 7, Jeff said. How about 9? Can we do 9? I'm not a 9 person, but I will.
You'll get grumpy.
No, I want to be taller.
I'll be
How long
Which
do
might
we
be a
want?
good thing.
Do we
How
want
about
9
noon?
at a time till noon?
How about 9? Is that fair?
So I checked, you started the year with
No, I just
1.5 million.
How much?
1.5 That includes all your little accounts like Pave New York, your Pave Your Potholes, your state touring, and your chips. That's everything. That's your rollover, and then we've spent $992,812.
So they're 506.
That's your very close.
Okay, 9 to noon.
See how we do this?
You sure you wanna do that? Saturday, Dave?
I'll be in my pajamas, it's fine.
I got half my day done by then.
By 9 o'clock, I'm ready for a break.
I'll be driving back from Pennsylvania.
4:30 day.
Okay, and then,
And we're doing a workshop on Monday, right? At 6.
yes, so Monday will be, the public hearing on the budget. And then we will adjourn into, a workshop. So I'm hoping to be able to adjourn from that room into this room, because I prefer this setup for a workshop. Okay. So, yeah, so as long, that was the thing. I just think looks like there's plenty of chairs.
Yeah, I think
We could accommodate
everybody
everyone's
can hear
stuff.
about it.
Yeah. So that's my plan.
Your schedule anymore.
And then, yes, schedule, small budget meetings. How about, Tuesday the 14th, Wednesday the 15th? I'm actually, because we're gonna do them at night still, right, 6 to 8.
Can we do the 15th a little bit earlier? That's my son's.
Oh, well,
Can we do it? We start a little bit earlier?
We have to influence a meeting at 3.
oh, yeah, we're doing the 15th.
Okay, never mind. That's okay.
Oh,
So what, 6
well,
to 8
we
on
could
the 14th?
do 5. Would 5 be better or no?
Yeah, that's fine. Like 5 to 7. I think.
We don't.
No, another day.
Okay, we could,
Can do Tuesday,
is Tuesday okay, the 14th?
6 o'clock.
Jess?
No.
Debbie, just so you know, we have a board meeting that night. Oh, yeah, and I was gonna bring my calendar and I didn't.
On
Not that you
Tuesday,
can't be in here,
14th.
probably okay, but we're gonna go there. Okay,
What day is that?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We're always the second Tuesday. Yeah, I'm gonna put your meeting on my.
Pickleball last night really got the best
I'm gonna go watch it play.
of me. No.
There,
It's me and Todd.
When don't you do Monday, Thursday, Friday?
I have the 16th and the 17th open.
Okay, all right. So
Because you can't
let's-
do Tuesday, right?
Let's definitely do the 16th.
So no Tuesday then. No Tuesday, Wednesday?
16th from 6 to 8.
16th from 6 to 8.
So we're not doing Tuesday, right?
you
No,
do
Jess can't go.
one? Just can't do it.
No,
16, 6 to 8, okay.
So what day, the 16th, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
6 to 8.
When, what week, what day?
Thursday, the 16th.
April 16th.
So, what time?
this is always the
At
funnest
6
part.
a.m.
6, okay, I definitely will not be here.
What, you won't?
Oh, it's 6 to 8, yeah, not a.m.
Oh,
Wait, I gotta go back, did we decide something on the 14th?
No,
no,
there was a
no,
conflict on
there's a
that.
conflict on that date,
Okay,
yes,
good, me
and
too.
then the 15th, so,
16th.
So you're gonna do the 16th and 17th?
I'd rather not do Friday, but we can do
Just-
everybody else,
let's see,
go to the,
well, I'll be down here.
cancel, everybody else, yeah.
Well, if it's not a Friday, then it's gonna be a Saturday, so which is better. You could just, sorry, if you wanna use this in the morning, I can put in.
See, Friday morning. better. And then I can take off after.
I'm good, very much.
On the 17th?
I can't do Friday morning.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
Okay, 9 o'clock
can-
Friday.
I can do it if they're doing it Friday, but I can do.
I do got this.
And then,
Do I have busy day tomorrow? You do? I do have a busy day tomorrow.
let's
I'm just gonna lay back and enjoy.
That's a bunch too.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we could do. It's so late though. We don't-
If I'm,
I don't.
if
I
I'm
don't
paying
like the
attention.
late meetings. That was too much. And then everybody gets cranky and we're all trying to
each other up. We don't get cranky.
Well, Thursday we can extend that to a lot.
Thursday?
6 to midnight?
You're laughing like we did do that several times.
I don't even know when we were out before
No,
10
we
o'clock.
did. We definitely did.
That's no joke.
I just wanna-
There's a reason we were insistent on end times.
How about 11? From 6 to 11.
No,
My calendar is just crossed.
wait, I turned into a pumpkin.
I have a strong memory of the folks who said they would not make decisions after 10 p.m. and some of them are still at this table. Let's not have a meeting. Go past 10 p.m.
That's what I do my best work.
Oh, it was terrible. Don't you remember it? I do.
We'd be in a heated discussion, then somebody would say, "Well, I can't make a decision this late at night." And the whole, like, all that discussion had to go again another day. So I don't want to
Is
do
that
that
why
again.
we have 27 meetings? About 85.
I wanted to do all that again.
I feel like we haven't even started yet. We're
Well,
still at 25%.
What if on Thursday we did 5:30 to 8:30?
Okay,
Does that
What
work
day?
for everybody?
okay.
Still the 16th.
And you could do the, oh wait, someone can't do the 15th, right? Besides
You're the
me.
one.
Well, we could do like 5 to 7 or something like that. Yeah, that's
Who's
fine.
going for dinner? They taking you out?
They're gonna
His
take me
birthday?
out at
Whose
7:01.
birthday is it? Your kid's birthday?
Well, it's TJ's, yeah.
23, 24.
Did you say 5:30?
I think 5:30 to 8:30 on the
Let's do
16th.
He's in 5 to 7.
Or you just do 5 to?
All right, 5 to 7 on the 15th.
5
5
to
to
7.
We really need another.
Wait a minute, that's
We really need.
And what day, the 13th?
The 15th.
And the 15th.
The 15th, yes.
Okay, well, I'm ready.
Yes, Mark, he's not a baby, he's a grown boy.
You can.
And
And then.
he probably
then the
doesn't wanna
6th.
eat till 7 and
That's
that's
right,
right.
he'll be fine. 5 to 7 on the 15th.
He'll be
He'll be
hungover
fine, I
until
hope he
6:30.
will.
And then-
He'll be great.
and
And
the
then we're
6th.
doing the 16th from 5:30 to 8:30, right?
Oh my
Mhm.
God. I thought it was 6 and 8. I thought it was 6.
Jess changed it.
Right, so
5:30,
yes,
Wednesday
give us
is
a
5
shout.
to 7.
Yes.
Now we're getting someplace. We're gonna really dig in.
5:30 to 8:30.
Right.
And then you said Fridays, no?
So 15th and 16th.
Yes, I feel much better.
Please.
So
Really?
16th is gonna be 5.
5:30 to 8:30.
Yeah, so we can get an extra hour. Actually,
You're
we're
gonna
going
post
over
this.
8 o'clock now, we're supposed to all this.
Oh, this is, so Saturday's 9.
Saturday night.
This Saturday.
The Saturday night to do? Okay, I have to go
Got
out.
it. I got it in the wrong day.
Oh, Saturday night.
Monday, we're having a meeting after the workshop. Right here, over here, yeah. Wednesday, 5 to 7. Wednesday, 5 to 7, okay. Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30. Okay. That's it so
And
far.
Friday,
Is that
no Friday.
Friday? No Friday.
Saturday?
Saturday, 18th.
No, it's March.
Sunday?
March
I'm
18th.
not gonna be in the state.
I'm not gonna be, I'm gonna be in it tomorrow, Friday.
Okay, let's go to the 20th.
And I was gonna ride some track on Saturday.
Monday, the 20th.
I gotta come back.
So the 15th is.
I'd like to go to the Ridgeway board meeting at 7, so if we could do 5 to 7 on the 20th, that'd be great.
5 to 7 on the 20th. I like it.
Does that work?
I already penciled it in.
Mark,
I don't
Deb?
know, my husband
Jaden?
has surgery that day.
Oh,
Okay, let's not do that today.
No.
I don't know
I
what
got a
time it,
conflict on Monday.
I don't know what time it'll be done.
Alright, how about the 21st?
Versus.
The 21st is fine.
6 to 8? Maybe we'll be so far ahead we'll cancel.
Yeah. I think on the 21st we'll be
Why do
sitting
I
here
feel
just
like
like this.
Well,
We're at 23.5%.
Let's do an all-nighter on the 22nd.
It's Earth
I-
Day.
I can't do the 22nd.
okay. But it's a completely clean day for me, there's not a single thing on it.
Everything that you don't have to do that day, I have to do.
Okay. All right, and then the 23rd is, what's the 23rd?
Okay.
Orleans County something. Okay. Oh, self-insurance. Okay,
Can we do 6 to 8?
let's do 6 to 8, because I did remember
On what day?
the 23rd,
From 6 to 8?
yeah.
On the 23rd, St. George Day.
Yep, and hopefully,
St. George.
St. George's
hopefully
Day.
we will be good to go on that day.
What time? 6 to 8?
6 to 8.
That's the 23rd. Okay,
I may be a few minutes late, I'll be here.
okay.
Better late than never.
And the 10, and the, yes.
Yeah. Geez.
My goodness.
Okay, are we good for right now?
That's a lot.
Well,
We got a lot to do.
yeah.
Okay. So 9 to noon is our next, no, we have one. 9 to noon.
Yeah,
On the
9 to noon
11th.
Saturday is the next one.
And then we have a regular board meeting on the 13th. And we're gonna be back here on the
Wait.
15th and the 16th, correct?
Uh-huh.
And the 16th, and then we got one on the 21st,
Mhm.
and then we got one on the 23rd,
Mhm.
and then we're gonna adopt it on the 27th.
Yes, yep. Come hell or high water.
What we
I'm in there. Don't let me drown.
We're passing something.
I'm not.
I'm not scared. You got this.
We're just gonna get Wags the pen and it's gonna start talking. Explain it all out.
You're blaming on me.
See, now
I electrified my fence
They
at 220. Nobody.
gave him a nickname, Jeff, so I won't have to worry about Jeff and Jeff and all that.
The hell, yeah.
And it also occurred to me, like later, when you kept calling me Wag, you call me Wagner. Well, that was what the problem was. I was supposed to be calling you all by your last names anyways,
Oh.
not your first names. I should have been saying Blitzky,
Wags.
Oh, you're supposed to.
Frau. Well, yeah, I think you say last and first names, and I was,
That's
oh
cool.
my gosh.
Put it together.
I'll be so professional on Monday, you won't even recognize me.
I'll go along with it.
So Scott, how do you, you gotta tell her how to say wag.
It's Wags.
No, you gotta scream it to the top of your voice.
All right, are we done with the regular meeting? Let's call it adjourned into executive session if I can get a motion.
What's the motion for?
For,
Executive session
to-
for a grievance and fire, I'm assuming from the town.
Yes, and,
Contract negotiations,
For
yes,
which department?
EMS.
ambulance. Fire, ambulance.
This is so you don't have to get the.
Yes.
Who was first, who was second?
Just questioning it.
Well, because it's not one of the reasons, right? Like, because it's not part of the Taylor law, so you can't do, I mean, I'm sure that there's
You
an
guys.
umbrella that fits under, but
See you
it's not
later.
contract.
See you later. Huh?
I'm sure there's an umbrella it probably fits under, because how else do you have this discussion?
Yeah, I know, I wanna have it, but I don't wanna make it public yet.
Who's first, who's second?
What's that?
Who's first, who's
I
second?
was, sort of moving. Scott was
We're
second.
still discussing heat, or anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was second,
All right, I saw good.
Two.
I mean, I can't just say contract negotiations.
No, because it's not pursuant to the Taylor law. That's like, it's,
What is
so
it?
collective bargaining is how that's written, like the way that that is written
Oh,
is
yeah,
only if
no.
you're discussing
Well, it's a
collective bargaining.
different contract.
Right, that, there's no carve out for that, under that, like, it's not under section 14.
Okay, well, I don't know how to talk about it then. I guess I won't talk about it. I don't know what else to say. Okay, well,
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a way to do it. I just don't know off the top of my head. The only thing I know is that it's not under that category. There must be a way. There's gotta be a way. Like, people must have these discussions in New York State with their boards.
You would think.
I guess I need an attorney here. to tell me.
Hopefully not the same attorney who told us it was for so much Taylor law.
Okay, do I have a second for the grievance?
Yeah, it's not done. Aye.
I'd have to look.
Saturday, 9 to 11.
Yeah, I can see it. How dare you didn't get that?
Yeah, we can do it.
I'm still there.
We're all
going-
here, right?
I have a question.
Sure.
Sewer bomb. Still have
Did they come and,
it. Cancel it. I wasn't gonna pay $1,000.
still gurgling?
You said,
Still backed up?
you said the village can come and camera.
Yeah,
the road.
yeah.
So if you can get somebody to do that, I appreciate it, because I know our
Jason's
street,
on vacation when he gets back.
our street was one of them, that Jason mentioned, for me, and Davis. I'm not sure about Beach too, but I know. They got, if we got to dig it, it got to make sense to dig it up,
Well,
they're gonna do the road. Our street.
That's what we were talking about. But yeah, I mean, if you even call,
Are you still recording, Jess? or-
Oh, Jesus, yes,
I'll-
thank you.
I'll talk to him over there and, Jason when he gets back, but they've cambered. So, you know, I know that. But I think there was a surge